friends, welcome back to another FabScraps design team video. This time I am making a mini album or card out of a single sheet of paper. The paper I'm using is from collection C109, A Moment in Time. The paper is 002, Always and Forever. And the first thing I'm doing is scoring the paper in, 4 different places. So I know where to cut to make my pockets. I did find the cut diagram on Pinterest. If I can find it again, I will link to that in the description below. But right now I'm just cutting to make the various pockets of the card or mini album, depending on which way you go with your decorations. One thing I will suggest is don't choose a lined paper to make this. Like the pattern on the opposite side, one side is lace and one side is gray and white lines. And I'll tell you what, I had a devil of a time trying to see my score marks. That's why you saw me look at them several times before I cut and move things out of the way now where I'm punching the pockets. So obviously my punch isn't going to work on that pocket that's cut diagonally, so I decided to do something a little bit different on that one. I took paper 008 sealed with a kiss, punched a scallop border out of that, and then you'll see me adhere that to the edge of the pocket. I just cut it in a strip and then use how much I need to. And then you'll see me later, I will round the corner as needed when I fold it all up, just to make sure everything folds nicely. To attach this, I'm just going to use my Nuvo pen. I believe that is the medium one. I have much better luck with that than the Zig two-way glue pen, which is so very funny because when I tried these Nuvo pens, I gave one to my friend Stacia, who has wonderful luck with the Zig pen, and she did not have luck with the Nuvo one. So I don't know if it's, a temperature difference between her scrap area and mine, or the way she presses versus the way I press. But I'll tell you, if one doesn't work for you, give the other one a try, because they're not all the same. So now I'm starting to do some of the detail work on each pocket. I inked it with some Tim Holtz. I honestly can't remember the color and I don't have it in front of me right now. I want to say it's either Spun Sugar or is that Victorian Velvet? But it's the pink that matches the collection. And I inked the scalloped and then put a little strip behind the scallop, just because it wasn't, the gray on the gray wasn't standing out enough for me for you to go, oh, that's a pocket. So I needed to put some dimension in there. So now you'll see I have 4 pockets, one on the top, one on each side, one on the bottom, and I'm going to start making some things to fill those pockets. If you wanted to make this a card, you could just put, sentiments in each of those pockets, or, letters, write little notes. But I'm going to make these a mini album. So the first thing I'm going to do is double check my size, because I don't want to cut things the wrong way and end up wasting a sheet of paper. But I'm going to add another pocket to the one on the bottom there that does not have a scallop. That way it has 2 pockets. Obviously, the more pockets you have, the more places for photos or journaling cards, things like that. So you see I only glued on 2 edges to make that a pocket. And now I'm going to cut some photo mats. The first 2 I'm going to do are just single 3x4. Obviously you can put a photo on each side. I'm just showing you there that that is a pocket. So you could add 4 photos to that. And then I was testing the size on the two other pockets. They are smaller. So you will need to do something other than 3x4 photo mats on there. Now I'm going to make a photo mat for that left-hand pocket, but I'm just going to make it a hinged one. So I took a piece of paper 3x8 and then just used my corner rounder to give it a different look. And again, you can do 4 3x4s, but I liked that it just opened. So now I'm deciding what I want in the other two since they are different sizes. I didn't want just one tag. I wanted, several things in each pocket. So I end up doing 2 smaller tags in that top pocket with some pink twine. If you wanted to, you could do these out of colored cardstock or obviously patterned paper, but I liked the way the white looked. That ribbon, the twine, I believe it's Queen and Company. I think I got it year before last at convention, but don't quote me about that. So now I'm deciding what I want to do for the middle of the mini album. I didn't want to leave it just blank. I wanted to add some more decoration and some more photo spots. So I'm looking through the journaling spots that are on the back of some of the sheets of patterned paper. I end up going with paper 005 from the Heart. And that's the piece I'm going to use right there. Before I cut, I'm just making sure that it will fit in the center of my mini album. I am going to end up offsetting that. I don't stick it right down to the middle because you'll see with that last piece of black cardstock, I am going to make another fold out for photos. And what I will do with that is you're going to see me get out my score tool again once I size this appropriately. And I make a 1/4 of an inch, I don't even know what it's called. I scored at one, left a 1/4 of an inch, scored at another, and folded it so that that could be almost like a hinge, I guess would be the correct word. So that it does fold over nicely for you to see the photos and doesn't get too worn. So that's why I place that to the right-hand side so that I can attach that to the left-hand side. I'm attaching that using some Sookwang tape rather than liquid glue or my pen because the Sookwang / score tape is stronger. And since that will be moved so often, I figured that was a good thing. So now I'm going to decide how to close my mini album. If this was a card, you could just glue it closed and put an address on the front and mail it. But since I want it to be able to be opened and reopened, I played with a few ideas. The first thing was my magnetic discs by Basic Gray. That's what I use for a lot of my mini album closures. But I didn't want to put another piece of patterned paper on here, and then I didn't want the magnet showing, so those weren't a good option. This, I thought of some brads and some twine, but I didn't have anything that was the correct color. So what I do is I take one of the clear stickers from the collection. That's ST109002. Since they are clear, I put it on some white paper so it didn't sink into the lace paper. And I take my Zig pen, and the one thing about the Zig pen is if you use it right away, it's permanent. But if you let it dry a little bit, it becomes repositionable. So you see, I use it right away on the one, and then there I am letting it dry on the second one to have it be repositionable. So this only took me, guys, less than 30 minutes to do this whole thing. It has lots of places for photos or lots of places for letters and sentiments if you wanted to make it a card. And again, single sheet of paper. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Please be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much. Bye.